Okay, it is the next day, and I've done a little bit of cleanup here in the garage, and I've got the original parts and the new parts laid out to show you kind of the difference between them and talk through what's going on here. So we'll start with the tie rods, and you can see the original one, and then there's a new powder coated one. That's a brand new uh, bar and ends on that one. I need to move a few pieces over, but wanted to show you where we're at here. The original bar is very wavy. It's been bent a few times. It looks like it might have actually been accidentally jacked up on or something like that at one point. But top is the new one, bottom is the old one, and that's pretty self-explanatory about what the difference is there. Next, we got some spring shackles. Here's the original ones right here, and they're actually in pretty good shape, but we're going to go ahead and swap them out with a new set that are also painted up pretty nicely that have modern ends on them. I'm going to go ahead and keep the old ones on hand because I think they are good enough to reuse if needed, and I've never had any problems with these new style shackles that you get from the vendors. These are from actually all the parts here except for the spring coming up and the drag link are from Snyder's. Okay, moving on, shocks. So I haven't taken the arms off yet, but like I said in the previous video, one is pretty much frozen tight. The other one is completely blown out and empty. Interesting here, there's some different markings that I haven't seen before. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the light here, but it says AC on the top of that one. They have the, however you say, Hoodale or however it's called, markings on them as well. I'm replacing them with brand new shocks from Snyder's. This is a driver, not a show car, and I've heard good things about the Snyder's shocks. They look very similar. Bolt pattern and the shape of them are the same. They just don't have any writing on the front covers, and that doesn't bother me one bit. Next, we've got the spring. The original spring is a little rusty, and it is pretty well worn out as far as being stretched out. The tie rod and drag link were rubbing on each other, which made me suspect that the spring was very worn out, although it could have been having something to do with that shock being stuck as well. But I went ahead and got a new spring from Eaton, Detroit, and it looks really, really good. I still need to finish prepping it, tightening it up a little bit, and cutting the center bolt down. But it looks really good. It measures correctly. It's really good quality. And I've already beveled the ends, painted it, done graphic in between the leaves, and all the fun prep stuff. So a little more work on that one, then it'll be ready to go in. Okay, Pitman arms. Old one on top, new one on the bottom. It's going to be hard to see here, but the ball definitely has wear on it on the top one, and the bottom one should be a lot better steering. I'll be using the Teflon inserts in all of the steering components, so I wanted perfectly round balls on there, and that's why we got that. This one was bought from Burt's, actually, and it's sold on exchange, so I need to go ahead and send the old one back, but there you go there. Very similar for the driver's side steering arm and the passenger side. Ones on the bottom, brand new balls installed, they've been powder coated, and the ones on the top, slightly worn, probably good enough to run, but I want them perfect since I'm using Teflon. Just so you know, if you decide to go this route, they come unpainted, so I sent them off to the powder coater along with a bunch of other parts and got them all done in this nice semi-gloss. Last piece here is the drag link. So one on the top is the original, and it's got some wear that you can potentially see right there. Lighting's really bad, sorry. Some wear from it rubbing, but all in all, it's in decent shape, and I will hang it on the wall in case I need it again. What you might notice is the one on the bottom is a little bit beefier, and it's adjustable. That is from Old Victoria on the Vintage Ford Forum, also known as Dave Delmue, and it allows you to adjust the length in order to center your steering wheel better. So a perfect frame, perfect steering components, everything, your steering wheel will line up perfectly. After 90 something years, things sag, things change, and I wanted a perfectly straight steering wheel so I could see my gauges and all the fun stuff. So that's why I went with that one. But you'll be able to see a little bit of the difference there. It's got lock nuts on it. You loosen those up. You adjust it from the center. And much like the tie rod, it will lengthen or shorten depending on what your needs are. So there you have it. It's all the fun stuff. I'm not going to go ahead and show you all the install because it's pretty well straightforward, the exact opposite of what we did on the other video. But I did want to show you the new versus old so you can have a little bit of idea of what's going on there and also be able to make decisions on your own and see what they look like. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them into the comments. If not, thanks again as always, and I will talk to you again next time.